Welcome to Pick Central. Today is Monday, November 27th. Happy birthday to my dad. But after that, today we are presented by Fireball. We are excited to have Fireball be the presenting sponsor of Pick Central. Football season is the best time of year, but inevitably you see us find some way to get it ruined. Yeah, this guy. Whether that's our team getting beat, yup. Losing every bet, yup. Getting crushed in fantasy, yup. Fireball is here to help you say F it and keep football season as incredible as it should be. The Fireball 50 milliliter shooters are perfect to United pregame, tailgate, or game watch. These beautiful little puppies right here. Plus, no shot glass needed. Just crack it, knock it back. Fireball's iconic cinnamon flavor tastes fire and goes down easy, making it the ultimate crowd pleaser. That's why it's the #1 shot in the U.S. It takes any event to the next level, especially the SEC Championship game. Ignite your fandom with an ice cold shot of Fireball and join Old Row at their tailgate in Atlanta to kick off the SEC Championship game with Fireball December 2nd. Okay. Sorry we're late, everyone. Busy day in the office. A lot going on. We're mid-spelling bee. We got Cyber Monday. So make sure the Barstool Sports store, everything's 20% off right now. It ends today. So today's the last day to do it. 20% off the entire store. And whatever amount of money we go over our goal, all is pooled in and given as a huge bonus, and divvied up and split up, given a big bonus to our behind-the-scenes people, our producers that work their ass off. They grind to make stupid, ugly people like me look good. I appreciate them. We got Jason in the booth right now. Obviously, great producers like Meek, Dukes, all of our guys, Booze. All of our guys have done an awesome job. All across social, production, everything. They do an awesome job making us look good, and they deserve to be rewarded. So when you're buying, think about them. Get some for your mom, dad. There's stuff all over the sports store. Nike stuff, Champion. I mean, all types of great hats like this right here. Bunch of new hats, golf merch. There's something for everybody. Make sure you get it right now, store.barstoolsports.com. Was I maybe doing that to avoid the inevitable? Maybe. I'm here by myself right now until everyone else comes in. Probably they don't want to be with me because I'm a loser, because Ohio State has lost again to Michigan. It literally sickens me to say that out loud. I'm sure we'll obviously talk about the game when the guys come in. They want to ask me a little about it, but I'll just give my thoughts off the top. It's a weird feeling because it wasn't like the last couple of years where things got out of hand in the second half, or we lit up some big plays and at the end of the game and they leaned on us in the run game. I mean, I feel I was right about this defense. The defense was much better than it's been the last few years, but unfortunately we made some big mistakes. The difference in the game was the mistakes. They were flawless, at least turning the ball over. I mean, we had two, Smitty right now, we had two obviously crucial turnovers. Obviously to begin the game, we throw an interception inside our own 20. Spot him 7 points, then throw the big pick, obviously, at the end of the game. Devastated. I'm sick to my stomach. It just never ends. When it rains, it pours. I'm 3-20-1 in my last bets. I'm retired gambling right now. It's been the worst, 4 or 5 days of maybe my entire life. Smitty, congrats on your Eagles win. That made me push Bills +3.
Go Birds.
So. Was the one I needed to win. Didn't win that one either.
You and a bunch of people, apparently.
Yeah, well, we are out they also, just for gambling, this was what I was reading, one of the biggest weeks for public bettors ever.
Really?
Favorites just won across the board. College, NFL. As a dogs guy, I got literally smoked. I went Friday in college football, I went 1-9. Saturday, I was going into the week, I was like, I'm only going to bet Ohio State money line, so whatever. Then I went 1-9 Friday, so it almost was borderline out of necessity. Obviously, Ohio State loses. Then I get home that night, and I'm like, you know what? I got a couple bullets in the chamber. I'll fire a few off on college football. 0-3 when I get home. Then Sunday comes around.
You left out Oregon State, too.
That was already been.
That was already decided, but it was official.
But of course, I betted them again +14. They lost by 24. That was the last bet to seal it 1-9 on Friday. Then followed that by an 0-4. Then yesterday I went 2-6-1. which I believe my math is correct. It's like 3-20-1. So
is that the worst stretch you've had since
in my entire I would say that in my entire life.
Since you started taking the quote serious.
Like I said, it's not like I said it to Marty. Marty was like, "Is that a Frank?" I was like, "No, that's like legitimately." In the last 24 bets I've placed, I've won 3 of them.
That's tough. So you pushed.
I just can't and pushed one on the Bills. Which if I got it earlier, I would have had the hook, but I waited and got 3 flat. I don't even know what to say.
As a gambler, you're down bad. As a football fan, you're down bad. How are you as a man right now?
Horrible. I'm just down bad as just a human being. I'm just a sad, pathetic sack of shit is basically where I'm at right now. I'm just a mere corpse just kind of walking around a zombie. I have no emotion. I have lack of I just feel pain and just sorrow.
So just so I'm clear, Ohio State has 0 chance at the playoff? No.
Small. I mean, we can get realistic with it. They would need Texas to lose. They would need Florida State to lose.
Possibility. Texas a little harder, but
they would need Georgia to win. I think that's a scenario where they probably would get in if all that happened. If Georgia lost, Florida State lost.
Okay, here's a scenario for you. Would you take them having that scenario and winning a national championship without beating Michigan again, or would you just want to get ready for next year?
No, of course I want to win a natty.
Okay.
That'd be crazy to say.
What about get to the natty
and lose? I don't know. It's weird to say because Ohio State it's kind of like loser talk, but I mean I'd want
or get to the natty and lose to Michigan.
I mean I want another shot. Yes, like I would never say I don't want another shot at it. So I guess in theory I'd say yes. I wouldn't just give up on this team, and especially like I said before you came in, like it was different this year. Like it wasn't like we just got like blown out in the fourth quarter. I mean that was a game of inches. That was a game of, a bounce here, a bounce there. I mean McCord played actually a really good game, sandwiched in between 2 bad throws. So yeah, I'd want another shot at him. I mean last year we were like, well I was gonna say this inch. I mean the kick missed by a mile, but we were a field goal from doing it last season, and yeah, so I couldn't say no. I'd obviously want a shot. If we won a natty, I'd be like, all right, like you guys win your little pygmy game in November. Here, kiss the ring, bitch.
Yeah, but
they can say
you like winning a natty and Michigan losing to say I guess it would have to be what, like Georgia in the first round.
I mean, us getting in, we'd have to be the 4th seed.
Like there would almost be an asterisk.
Well, I mean, the only way that it could happen would be because Georgia would be in that scenario. Georgia would be 1 and we'd be 4, so we would have to beat Georgia. And then either it would be beating Michigan, like revenging Michigan, like beating Michigan in the natty, or if Michigan loses like they always do and get embarrassed in the playoff, if they lost the playoff game to, I guess in this scenario it would be Oregon or Washington. If they lost and then we beat them, like we beat that team in the natty, I mean they can't really. Obviously they beat us 3 times in a row, but I mean you're a national champion. You're a national champion.
Was there any solace off camera at all?
Solace?
Like just a break from everything that we saw? Or was it all?
No, because even before the game, I had a flight already booked, and then Dave and Casey were like, "Oh, like Dave was, I'm coming back to New York, so you can take the private jet." And before the game, I was kind of like, "Oh, like I don't know if I'm either gonna really want to be on that plane or not want to be on it." And he made me decide before the game.
Yeah.
So I said, "Fuck it, I'm a gambler. Like I'd rather be on the plane." And it was just sad. It was just sad. But I will say it was better to be home at I was home 3 hours before my flight would have taken off, so that was good, I guess. But
did you talk about Ryan Day yet?
No, I haven't. I don't think he should be fired, to be honest. It's one of those things where as much as people are clowning him right now and giving him a lot of shit, and we're selling T-shirts with his face crying on the back of it.
How many more years, Dev?
But so this is what I would say. I mean,
how many more years with this result? This exact result on this.
Next year would be tough. If he did it, it feels like it keeps becoming that. But we also have to remember Jim Harbaugh, he's getting shit for the off-the-field stuff, but being praised as a head coach, he was 0-5 against Ohio State at one point.
Fair.
So I think now it's become a weird thing where when the pendulum flips, it's just flipped hard, and he's just got to win that game to just get it back. I mean, next year's in Columbus. The problem is, I really do think he is a good coach, and the guy's like 56-7 at Ohio State. He's brought
but
he's brought this team to multiple playoff appearances, national title games. I mean, he also is prepared very well with for the playoff games. I mean, last year, I mean that Georgia team was incredible, and we were this close to beating them. I know you can say that's loser talk, whatever, but the point, my point more with Day is that he's had us right there.
like obviously it never happened, but it's. I was under the understanding that hey, if you're 57-7, but all 7 losses are against Michigan, you'd rather be 7-57 with all 7.
They're not all he beat Michigan his first year. Now he's 1-3 against Michigan. Listen, I was asking you in the stream. The only person I would really want him gone for would be if Urban would come back. You have to understand this is college football. There's no.
I know you're a powerhouse with him, but
he was and I like people off the field stuff. I mean,
he's just an awful human.
But how? But what?
I know.
There's awful humans. It's has he committed any real crime? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what he knew in Florida.
There was some fishy stuff.
People were popping.
Obviously, people didn't like. That's.
There's no statute of limitations of murder.
But he didn't. How could he? He didn't know the guys. I mean, so all right, Bill Belichick drafted a murderer. They should have fired him too right away. He shouldn't be coaching anymore. He drafted a murderer.
I don't know. Joe Pa apparently didn't know. So
I'm not getting that. Those are different heinous crimes. I don't want to get.
They are.
I mean, I don't know. I guess my overall statement on Day is no. I don't think he should be fired. But it's obviously it's a tough spot. It's a tough look. I mean, the rivalry, the beef is only getting stronger. I mean, the criticism is my thing is, I actually thought. Did you watch the game? I'm assuming. Yeah. I thought he called a good game, play calling wise. Overall, I don't think there's not really the only decision I really think he made that you can question is the very first drive. They didn't go for it on 4th and 1 and Michigan's 45. But my thought process, and I think this was his, is that the defense had really been our backbone this year. The team had changed from a couple of years. This team, the defense was truly the strength of the team. They were arguably the best unit in the country, definitely one of them, without question. So I understand early in the game you're saying, hey, let's lean on our bread and butter. That's been the defense. Let's not just give them potentially a short field right out the gate. So that I think that was just. But other than that, I thought he called a good game. I think it's tough where. I'll say this fine. I've said this behind. I'll say it publicly, but I mean it's tough when it's like the football gods give and taketh. It's the best defense we've had in a long time. Unfortunately, the quarterback play isn't as good as it's been the last probably 5, 6, 7 years. McCord was. You see the talent there. You see he can make all the throws, but he misses a lot of easy ones, and it was a lot of inconsistency and the bad pick inside of our own 20 early in the game. Really was. I mean that hurt obviously really bad. Just spot him 7 points like that off the rip.
I don't think anybody's denying that if you had Stroud play that game, you probably win.
I mean, if Stroud plays that game, we win every game by 30 points. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know what we do going forward. Do they? I think Day almost has to. We have to get a new quarterback probably next year. I don't want to just trash McCord because I really don't think he played that bad of a game, but I do think this team. We couldn't do. There was a lot of things that I think we could do in the past that we couldn't do this year, and that's because of quarterback. And I think that does have to change because it's not like he's a young kid. He came in the same year as Stroud. He's 21, 22 years old. He's not like a true freshman who's getting his feet wet. He's been in the program 4 years. If he's not he was solid, but we've had elite quarterback play, and I think that's what we need. I mean, that's what we need to win, and that's what we need to win national championships. And obviously, with McCarthy, I mean, I'll give him credit. He played a good game, but also they don't ask him to do a ton, but he made some good throws, and he didn't turn the ball over. We had 2 turnovers. They had none, and that ended up being the difference in the game. I mean, their kicker was on point. We missed big field goal before half. I mean, a few things you can point at. I don't think either of us played really a bad game. I really think that probably Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Bama, Oregon, in my opinion, are the 5 best teams in the country. So I would, like you said, another chance at it, but.
Now, I already know the answer to this question, but just to make it clear, are you rooting for Michigan again to win it all now so that you can say that, hey, at least you were beat by the best?
No.
Okay.
I hope they embarrass themselves again. I hope they lose to an inferior team in the Final Four again.
Right, just clear it up.
Yeah, no. I hope. I mean, and I will say the one thing that Harbaugh has been bad at has been preparing for, like, when they have a bowl game or any sort of, like, month stretch to prepare, he's been horrible. Like, just look at Michigan. They've been horrible since he's been at Michigan when each team has a long time to prepare. Very bad. Like, very bad in bowl games. He's played the 2 playoff appearances they made. They got their doors blown off by Georgia, and then they lost to a clearly inferior TCU team as like an 8-9 point favorite.
Yep.
So he's prepared horribly. So I'm curious how this will go this time around. I'd imagine they're probably going to play either Texas or Oregon, in my opinion. Probably Oregon, I would guess.
Okay.
I think they're going to beat Washington. I think they would bump up ahead of Texas in that case and be the 3, and Texas would be the 4 if they win. And so basically, if things hold, fuck no, because Florida State could kind of fuck everything. They'll play Texas or Oregon probably, because either Florida State would be number 4, so they'll play probably Texas or Oregon. I don't know. Everything sucks. I just feel dead inside. I hate everything. I just hate sports are stupid.
Whoa. How can you say that when you got the Mott's?
All right, so
Italian hero.
We want to. I mean, now we're just making this show about me. But if we want to talk about, if we want to talk about that,
trying to cheer you up.
Well, I've been on record. People, I mean, everyone I feel like against me here at the office, but I'm very anti-tanking. I've been adamant about that. I'm very anti-tanking. I think it's loser culture. I think this is my overall thought. If I got to put it in like a few sentences, I think drafting a few spots higher in the NFL draft is not worth the losing the development of your young players, your foundational players. You're trying to win football games. What kind of sense or what kind of statement does that make to your organization from the top down if you are legitimately trying to lose football games just so you can draft 5-6 spots higher in the draft? For example, a guy like we just drafted, Deontay Banks, guy we just drafted, or even looking at free agents wanting to come here, rookies, say a Deontay Banks, like I just said, or people that we want to keep around. What kind of message does that send to them? If we're just trying to lose,
I agree.
I think, especially when Dable, I think is the future. We're not firing him. I believe in him as the coach. I think most Giants fans believe in him as a coach. I mean, he's out there winning games with Tommy fucking DeVito. I just think building winning culture and a winning foundation, developing your young players to eventually become a winning team is much more important than drafting a few spots higher in the draft when there's been only a few slam dunk quarterbacks in the history of the National Football League. Who's to say Caleb Williams and Drake May are going to just be stars?
It's not just quarterbacks.
Of course.
You can
get
a
but
much better high value player at pick 5 than at pick 10.
We've seen. But I guess that's fair. But we've seen plenty of times pick 5 stink at pick 10.
Oh yeah, of course. You still have to make the right selection. I do agree with what you're saying to an extent. I think it's situationally based, team by team, year by year. Like the year the Jets could have easily tanked.
For sure, of course. Yeah. I think when it gets to I'll say this, when it gets to that one game and there's Trevor Lawrence sitting there, I get it. Okay, that, fine.
But I do agree with what you're saying somewhat. If you have a young team, if you know Dable's not going anywhere,
yeah, he's the guy.
Then you want to grease the wheels a little.
We want to win. We have guys we gave big money. Like I said, we have young players that I think can be foundational pieces going forward. These guys, we want to show them we want to win games. We want to develop them to become the best players they can be, so we eventually become the winning team that we want to be. We're not there right now. We knew even last year when things went went our way, we still showed Eagles playoff game. We're still far away. So I mean, I just don't believe in.
You're very far away.
Yeah,
that defense kind of fucks.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's pieces there that we're developing that can get better.
What's going on with Wink
going forward? I don't think anything's really going on.
You don't think? You think it's just smoke?
Did you see Dale after the game?
I did not.
So
I just saw, I think, Clem's blog
as an ode to the whole. Obviously, it was known a thing. Media started making it a thing. He gave Wink the game ball after the game, and they asked him about it, and he said the biggest argument that me and Wink have had is over the last slice of pizza. We have no beef.
In which, Ev, I don't know if you've seen Dable and Wink. Could be a big argument.
I agree. No, they're trust me.
Could be hungry boys.
3 big boys. We like our pizza. That last slice. The couple alpha males, they want that last slice. But no, I mean Wink's done a good job, so I don't see what they'd be arguing about. And I truly believe in Dable and Shane's like player like evaluation, and I was being Clem, we're texting this morning, and I'm full on like whatever direction they want to go in next year. Like I believe in them because they asked Shane this year what he wants to do, like what they're gonna do with Daniel Jones, and he gave pretty much the political answer where he said like when Daniel Jones comes back when he's healthy, which wouldn't be till the middle of next year latest, he'll be the starter. But after that, he also said we're gonna bring another quarterback, decent chance of the draft. So he made his.
Yeah, but what if Tommy just keeps slinging?
Listen, Tommy
Good
DeVito,
for him. He's got the backup job for life.
That's what I was just gonna say. Tommy DeVito has played very well these last 2 games, has not turned the ball over, and has just earned himself basically as a folklore in New York, New Jersey for the rest of his life, a hero. And I hope he just stays the Giants' backup third-string quarterback forever.
Yeah, no, that's exactly who he's going to be.
He's the man. I mean, and honestly, I give Dable, a lot of credit and him a lot of credit. The first 2 games, he looked so bad.
Biblically
like
bad.
Incompetent.
They didn't even trust him to throw.
And like now, they're actually letting him throw the ball.
He's playing. Yeah,
he's obviously they're managing the game a little bit with him. The defense, y'all leaning on the defense, but
I didn't watch him much. I didn't watch him much at Syracuse, but was he a gunslinger there?
He was at Syracuse. He's like a little bit of a dual threat ish. I mean,
if you get drafted in the NFL as a quarterback, you go D1
he was undrafted.
as a okay. Well, if you make the NFL,
he's been a grinder. Like he was somebody who was invited to the rookie. Like he went to Cuse and then went to Illinois. He was the starters last year at Illinois.
If you play as a D3 football player, if you play Division I football, specifically at the quarterback position, you are a good fucking.
He was a starter. He was a starter as well most of his time. At Syracuse, he had some injuries. They were kind of like in and out. But yeah, Illinois, he was the guy his last year. Yeah, he was a guy. He was a rookie minicamp guy who, him even becoming like the 3rd-string practice squad guy was probably like above like his imagination. To now just be starting and like winning back-to-back games and throwing 4 touchdown passes and no picks the last 2 games is just incredible. It says a lot about him. So kudos to Tommy DeVito. If you're a Barstool guy, obviously he's not watching this, but we'd love to have you in the office after the season. You're the fucking man. We love you. Like I said, we're not tanking. I'm not tanking. I love that you're winning games. I don't care what anyone's saying losing draft picks, whatever. Fuck them. We're here to win games. I appreciate you, Tommy DeVito.
He was an Elite 11 quarterback, by the way.
Okay, so he's a high prospect. Yeah, obviously he's a Jersey kid. He literally grew up 9 miles from the Giants facility. Still living with his mother right now. God bless him. His father. Yeah, maybe we'll get into more.
That's the way the Italianos do it.
Yeah, he hasn't found a wife.
Who moves out first, Tommy DeVito or Glennie Balls? It's a good question.
That's tough.
That's a good theoretical right there.
Because DeVito's now got to fight off the. He's gonna get some money coming in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, you don't think Balls is cleaning up?
No, Balls. I'm sure Balls is doing well for himself, but DeVito's gonna.
Balls hasn't paid rent since 1992.
That's true. Shit. I forget. I've been paying rent for like 7 years, and Hoboken rent living by yourself is no fucking joke. But yeah, shout out Tommy DeVito. We'll get into some NFL now. Wait for the boys to come back.
Shout out Balls.
Let's out of your Eagles. Bills yesterday. Kind of a weird one where I'll say my Bills kind of dominated the game, but Eagles, they find a way to get it done. Mm-hmm. Win in OT. Get the stop for the field goal in OT. Jalen Hurts might be the MVP.
Oh, I don't think it's a question now. And after that second half,
I'm kind of surprised that people
right now.
I'm right now. Still a lot of season left. I guess he would have been the MVP this time last year as well.
Correct.
But I don't understand. He's been getting a little more criticism this year, and I haven't really understood why.
Well, the turnovers, and you saw the first half yesterday.
Yeah, but even
it wasn't good.
No, that's true. But it was a batted ball.
And the play calling does him no benefit, especially early on in the games. And clear it out in the second half. And the Eagles' adjustments the past 2 weeks, they were down Kansas City by 10 points and won. They were down against Buffalo 10 points. 2 pretty good teams and won. And the previous week against Dallas, they only gave up 6 points in the second half. So their second half adjustments have been absolutely flawless. And I don't think it's a question at this point. I still have worries whether they come to play and coach to the best of their ability. But if they can play and coach 90% for an entire game, they're winning. They just are.
I feel like
they're that much more talented.
No, I agree, and I think even I've been seeing it more. Not even I mentioned that Hurts kind of a little bit of giving him some shit for the turnovers, but I feel like people have been calling, not everyone, but I've just seen a few, just the Twitter mill, kind of saying not like the biggest, not like how the Steelers were frauds a couple years ago at 10-0.
Oh yeah,
basically claiming that like this Eagles team is. Yeah. You can say they haven't looked as sharp as they did last year. That's fine. That's fair to say. But I mean, to think that this team is not a real contender is crazy.
Yeah, that Steelers team who was 10-0 over.
They were like fraudulent.
Yeah, they outkicked their coverage. This Eagles team isn't playing up to their potential, which is scary.
It's hard for me to imagine the NFC title game just not being Eagles-Niners.
Yeah, I just think right now. And this week is going to be a good test for that. The Eagles. That's
right.
And the Eagles already have a 2-game lead over the Niners. So I mean, the Niners have to win this game. The one NFC and the Lions lost. So I mean, if the Eagles could basically wrap up the bye this week, but this Eagles team, man, I arguably they were better last year, but I've never seen anything like it. They don't put together a full game, and that is scary. It is absolutely scary if they finally figure shit out. It was going around Twitter that somebody responded to me that it looks like sometimes they actually come out in games and purposely find new ways to get behind. So just so they can come back. Like DeAndre Swift did touch the ball in the first half yesterday. Mm-hmm. They're running bubble screen passes to Julio Jones on 3rd and 10.
Yeah.
It's like a QB draw is Brian Johnson's best friend constantly. Like it's like, what are you doing? And then they just come out in the second half and just wipe.
So do you any concern? Obviously they've two massive wins in a row, beating Kansas City and the Bills back to back. But any concern that you could argue they've been outplayed in both those games and still
100%.
Any concern?
I can argue they've been outplayed against the Commanders almost twice, at least one game. They were obviously outplayed by the Jets. There were a couple other games early in the season where it very easily could have went either way. They're 10-1. I think bottom floor basement, they probably could be 7-4, 6-5 if breaks didn't go their way. But they're finding a way to win games, which in the end, what more do you want?
See, they're a team to me.
I'm not going to be nitpicky here. I mean, I'm going to be, but they're winning these games.
Well, they're a team to me that at this point I don't even know if it matters, but they're a team to me that I think can just turn it on when they need to. But see, they're in a spot now where, like you said, if they can win, if they can go on the road in San Fran and win.
Oh, they're at home.
They're number one seed in the playoffs.
Well, they're home against San Fran.
Oh, excuse me, actually even better. My bad. So they're home. So if they win this game at home, they are pretty much, like you said, they're in the driver's seat. They'd have to just like totally fuck up to essentially not be the number one seed in the
NFC. And
get the bye.
And one thing, and I said it yesterday. The Eagles getting a lot of breaks right now too. I mean, the refs yesterday, they were kind of in the Eagles' pocket, which that horse collar play in the first half, that was pretty egregious. The 59-yard field goal from Jake Elliott,
he doesn't miss.
He doesn't. He's the greatest kicker in Eagles history, and that's coming from someone who grew up with David Akers, who was awesome and just so consistent. And Jake Elliott just does it. You don't make those field goals.
Like 59 yards in
the rain, in the wind,
like it's the shitty
line driving it through them. I mean, there are breaks that go their way, and they're capitalizing on it. The only thing that really concerns me is come playoff time, if you have a game in which a break doesn't go your way, and they're not playing at least 90% and being coached 90%, they're beatable. They are. You've seen it this year.
But it's crazy with them.
But if they put it together, they're going to wipe.
That's what I was going to say. But the crazy thing is they're so good, it almost feels like the only team that can really beat them with it, even when they don't put it together, if they play how they did the last couple, where not totally shit the bed, but not play up to their potential, it still feels like the only team that can really beat them when they play like that is like the Niners.
Well, and the Chiefs.
Well, I was saying correct. But I was saying like NFC.
Oh, in the NFC,
like even and I've been someone who's been high on the Lions. Even the Lions that I'm seeing in the golf that I'm seeing the last couple weeks. I mean, I don't know what happened. He has looked like a different guy the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I think
he'd been so sharp. The first 8-9 games of the season, the last two he's just been.
Yeah, I think the Eagles put up 35 on the Lions. If the Lions can keep pace,
their defense has been a little shaky. Like Lions.
If their defense can keep pace, God bless.
Obviously, Chargers moved the ball, had it scored 38 on them.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bears should have won that game. And then obviously, Packers scored a bunch on them. Love had a great game against them. So yeah, they're the front runners in my opinion. Even I saw the line already. I was surprised by this. This is actually the reason it threw me off. Why I thought they were on the road. I saw that line open at +3 for the Eagles. That surprised me. +3.
Look,
at home. That's literally why I saw the line. I just assumed they were on the road.
In this gauntlet of games where they had Cowboys bye, Chiefs, Bills, 49ers, Cowboys, Seahawks. The Cowboys games are probably the most important.
Yeah,
but this would not be the one to lose. The one to lose would have been the Chiefs game or yesterday.
For sure.
You got to come out and try to basically clinch it, but that shows that the 49ers know that this is the situation too. They're not going to roll down.
No, for sure not.
No, it's going to be.
They're going to want this one bad. This is going to even the regular season is going to mean a lot to the league,
especially after they
exited just last year.
Yeah, especially after they exited last year with Purdy going down.
Yeah,
it's going to be a war.
We got Clemmer in the house now. Clemmer's here.
Hello, I don't think my mic's on, but that's okay.
We'll get into we can get into last night's game a little bit.
It's literally on.
Now it's on? Okay. I don't hear myself, but that's okay.
Duke's handling business back there. Shout out Dukes. We'll get into Ravens Chargers last night. I thought both teams kind of looked like shit. I mean, the Chargers looked horrible. I mean, all the Eckler 2 turnovers. I think they lost the turnover battle, I think 4-1 or 4-0. I mean, Staley has to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had a coach get fired this morning. Are you surprised that it's that coach and not Staley? Are you surprised it's Frank Wright instead?
I know Ken Jeckett talked about that they just don't fire coaches like in season.
Yeah.
So I mean they're 4-7. I mean shit. I mean I was gonna break Ken Jeck's balls yesterday. We were like tongue in cheek or in the offseason saying, I mean Daniel Jones, Justin Herbert, and here we are sitting with Tommy DeVito, and the Giants and Chargers have essentially the same record.
Yeah.
Which is just, I mean, and it's just sad I mean, the Chargers have so much talent, and they just can't put it together. The play calling's bad. I mean, they've just looked sloppy. And really, in the Ravens, and I mean, the Ravens played like shit.
They did not play well.
The defense played well. But offense was sloppy. I mean, they covered because they scored a late touchdown. They scored 20 points, but they really scored 13 in like real like time in the game. I mean, are they a team? Are you guys? I'll go Clemmer first. Are you like fully sold on the Ravens?
I am. I think the Ravens. I completely agree. Ravens had an off night last night. I'm sure they would probably admit the same thing. But I do believe the Ravens are a legit competitor for the AFC. I don't have them ahead of the Chiefs, but I have them at next tier.
Would you say would you have it number 2 in the AFC?
I think so, right?
Considering like obviously the Burrow injury now.
Yeah. Oh no, that's huge. And then and obviously the Jets are and the Bills are kind of struggling a little bit. Like I think they are the number 2. I think it's a clear number 2.
Look, the Bills, if they can play like they did yesterday, they're right back in the mix.
Yeah.
If Josh Allen can do what he did
play really well.
He played really, really well. I was told that he was going to be turning the ball over left and right. He had one interception, which was costly, but he played a phenomenal fucking.
But you have to have the Jaguars ahead of the Bills just because of the record.
Yeah. But I'm saying if the Bills can play like they did yesterday, they would be number 2 in my mind. That's how well they played yesterday.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think that's a fair. If they're playing at their best, I'd probably give them a better chance to beat the Chiefs than I would the Ravens. To be honest with you,
yeah, no,
I know it's kind of crazy to say given how much better the Ravens have been this season. But when the Bills are at the top of their game, like you said, when Josh Allen's playing like he did yesterday, and the defense, they've obviously lost some big defensive pieces, Milano and Tre'Davious White, which has been a big problem for them on defense. But
you know what's nuts? Guess what Josh Allen's record since they changed the overtime rule for him?
They like 0-6 now after
he's 0-6. He's 0-5 since that.
Because I saw because I said I needed the Bills like desperately +3, and I saw the stat pop up right after the coin toss. 0-5 in overtime. I was like, oh my god, here we go. And of course they go and get the points, and then they just lose.
Yep, Brandon Graham doesn't matter.
But probably the other biggest game of the day, in my opinion, I would say anyone's opinion, Texans Jags. Clemmer just put up the Jags. Jags 24-21. Both quarterbacks I thought played very well. Two of the probably honestly we're looking at potentially like the future of the league. Maybe the next if you think about it with them being in the same division,
the next decade.
That has potential to be the next like big rivalry in just national football, like just Jags Texans battling for that division. If they can God bless they can stay healthy. I mean, like I said, they both played really well. The Texans missed a kick. That literally 58 yards and just hits, bounce right back.
Yeah, but also the Texans, and credit to them, they also stuffed him at the goal line at halftime.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it could have been worse for him.
I know hindsight's 2020, but I was thinking of it in the moment as well. I thought they should have went for it on 4th and 12, the Texans, instead of kicking the 58-yarder.
It's tough.
Because I just think, I mean, if you were watching that game too, and obviously just seeing his tape and how well Stroud's played this season, he's been so good at like keeping plays alive.
That's tough.
The other thing, though, that kicker has never made a 50-yard
That's what
field goal.
he never made a 50-yard in his career.
Yeah.
He was a guy that they signed off the couch a few weeks ago because Fairburn got hurt.
Yeah, how do you have somebody like that on the NFL roster? Like, there's got to be somebody out there.
I mean, he came close to making it.
yeah,
Though.
he did.
He
Closer
did. It was
than
on
I
line.
thought.
He literally was like a half a yard from it going over the goalpost
Yeah.
and then them going into overtime.
That's tough. I mean, that's
I would say because I was saying like,
4th and 12.
I was saying
is
it
a
in
bundle.
real time, but it was because of the 58-yarder. Because if you get the first down, now you're probably like you're just gonna make the field goal.
Well,
Like, highly likely.
Of course, but it's 4th and 12. If it was 4th and 6 or even 4th and 7 or 8,
No, I'm sure he would have.
Fourth
And D'Amico Ryans has done a great job. I'm not like
Yeah.
poo-pooing him. He's done a great job as a coach.
4th and 12, I almost take my chance. I take my chances.
I just think I want to understand I just think when you have a quarterback like Stroud who's played so well in extending plays, you have guys like Tank Delbin getting open. I think I put the ball in his hands one more time. I know it's tough. Like you said, it was 4th and 4, 4th and 6. They almost definitely go for it. The 4th and 12, I'm sure, is why he made the call. But I don't know. I just think you have a guy like that. I like to keep the ball in his hands one more time and put you in the spot where, like, if you make the first down, like the field goal's got to be 90% after that. If you're inside like 50, if you make the first down, it's going to be inside 45 yards.
AFC playoff picture. So right now, the Colts would have the last wild card spot. The Texans are just on the outside looking in,
Yep.
and you have the Browns at 7-4. I don't think the Browns make it.
You're leaving one team out.
Yep. The team that just beat the Browns yesterday. The Broncos are coming.
Broncos are 6-5. The Bills are 6-6, and I think the Browns are going to fall out.
That's gonna be an interesting race with like you saw all the teams: the Bills, Texans, Browns, them,
Colts.
Colts have been the sleeper team because they're the team that I think no one had big expectations coming into the year.
Oh.
AR gets hurt. Now Minshew's in. I'm pretty sure that I said this a few weeks ago. And I think it still holds to be true. They're the only team in the league that scored 20 points in every game.
I know that was the case for a while. I don't know if it's still the case.
Unless they might have missed one in between, but it's either they missed like one maybe.
They did. Against the Patriots, they only scored 10.
Oh, that's right. They
won.
They won. So every game but one, they've scored 20 plus points. I mean, not that Tampa Bay's some like world beater defense, but I mean they're moving the ball up and down yesterday. Pittman's starting to look really good. Josh Downs.
Josh Downs is a player.
Yeah, very
He's
good.
a player.
And then obviously Jonathan Taylor in the run game. The offensive line's been pretty stout. I mean,
Well, that's what happens when you have a white billionaire being persecuted against. Your team rises up and plays for you.
yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I mean
That's crazy, by the way. I know,
That's
John.
so
that's your
funny.
boy. Like, he is batshit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just profiling white billionaires.
He's the craziest owner in professional sports, right?
Yeah, I'd almost like to say, like, it shouldn't be legal to have that amount of wealth without being able to, like, complete a simple IQ test or something, or a rationale test to prove that you're not crazy. But maybe that's why he is a billionaire, just because he is crazy.
The man got
also
so,
helps.
He got
when
so rich he became a minority.
son of a
Yeah.
billionaire helps become a billionaire.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Unreal.
Is he a son of a billionaire?
His dad owned the team before him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how he got the team.
Oh, I thought I saw a quote of him
He inherited the
No, yeah.
of him working hard,
Which makes his
pulling up by his bootstraps.
Which makes his persecution quote even crazier.
And he's certainly not self-made.
Okay.
No.
I'll get so real quick. Shout out Omaha Steaks. The holidays are here, and the Jolly Elves at Omaha Steaks have your wish list covered with guaranteed perfection during Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales. Go to omahasteaks.com and take advantage of 50% off site-wide, plus use code PICS. That's right, PICS at checkout to get an additional $30 off your. That's 50% off site-wide. And then you use code PICS for $30 off your order. Score delicious deals on tender, juicy, extra-aged steaks like they're mouth-watering. Bacon-wrapped filet mignons. That's unreal. That's a holiday gift for your dad. And literally anybody. Anybody's loving a bacon-wrapped filet mignon. Or you can cozy up to easy-to-prepare meals and carefully curated gift packages that are guaranteed to make spirits bright all winter long. Omaha Steaks possibilities are endless. Endless flavor, endless value. Make sure to visit omahasteaks.com and save big Like I said, 50% off site-wide. Use promo code PICKS at checkout to get the extra $30 off your order. Hurry because Black Friday, Cyber Monday, today's the day. Those Almost Steaks will be gone before you know it. Could be done today. Make sure you do it today. That's almoststeaks.com, promo code PICKS at checkout. Minimum order may be required. Like I said, 50% off site-wide. Promo code PICKS, $30 off your order.
Love me some Omaha.
It's the best.
So
a
good.
bacon wrap filet, insane.
Great gift too for Christmas.
So speaking of, let's go back to the AFC playoff picture. Obviously now we have 3 wild card spots. Essentially at this point, say 5-6 teams fighting for those 3 spots. Who do we think are getting?
I like Pittsburgh by far, just because the record's 7-4, and they have the most complete team, I guess.
But do they?
Hey, they had 400 yards yesterday.
They did. The offense definitely looked better with the. It was one of those weird games like you said, 400 yards, but they only scored 16 points. They definitely left some points on the board.
Also, Deontay Johnson, that play, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
You think that was his touch? Oh, where he didn't hustle. Hustle.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think he saw the fumble for some reason.
But it was a weird one where he wasn't. He was going through the motions even while the play was.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a running play. And your wide receiver. It was in the box. He should have blocked. Yes.
Kind of just like he literally. It was a run play, and he just stood.
No, what I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt is no. He was a lazy piece of shit, not blocking. What I'm giving the benefit of the doubt is I don't think he saw the fumble, and because if he did see the fumble and didn't go down and try to get on it, dude.
The old the Cam Newton in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
People shit on him for that. They still do.
Yeah.
The Steelers' upcoming games: Cardinals, Patriots, Colts, Bengals. I mean, they're already 7-4. I think that they get in very easily.
They're minus 240 to make the playoffs.
Is it Steelers?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree.
That makes sense.
Just the record they're at now with the win yesterday,
And with the games upcoming,
they're just in a good spot. Yeah.
Bills plus 380, I think I saw.
Bills are plus 380.
Well, they're a game behind a lot of those teams.
Yeah.
Even like the Broncos, they haven't had their byes.
Yeah.
Like they're 6-5. These Texans, even after they lost, they're still 6-5.
And the Broncos.
The Broncos are the team that people I think they're now just starting to talk about. I mean, they're playing good ball.
You win 6 straight
Playing
games
really
in the
good
NFL.
5 in a row, yeah.
We got Martin just joined us. Shut up.
How we doing, boys? I don't know if I'm going to be able to see me on here, but because I don't think we have anyone manning it, right?
No, we do. We have dudes back there.
Now Meek's back there. We'll get it going.
I know I missed it, but what do you want to do with Ryan Day?
I've already addressed it. I think you have to keep him.
Keep him, okay.
You can't. I think you can. I don't think
One
you
more
can
year.
fire him.
One more?
It's that's what I said. At least I mean
He has not won one big game, correct?
I wouldn't say that's true.
Which big game has he won?
I mean, he beat Michigan the first time. He's won a playoff game. I mean, he's won some. He's won
Okay,
some.
so he's won 2.
Yeah, I mean, and also I'd see in mind just like I said the same thing before. Everyone's giving Harbaugh shit for off the field, or whatever, the stealing signs, whatever. Coaching wise, they're giving him they're praising him. He was 0-5 against Ohio State at one point.
Is this a job you almost don't want as a college football coach, where it's like all your season is this guy's 56-7, and people are coming for his head?
Well, that's what I said. Like, would you rather be 56-7 with 7 losses against Michigan, or 7-57 with 7 wins against?
I think it's 7-57. Like,
Because
I mean, it's unrealistic.
Because literally
I
his
know what you mean, but like,
besides the 3 Michigan losses, the other losses are Oregon in the regular season,
bad loss.
which was a bad loss. That's fine. A national title game, and then a 1-point loss to to Georgia on a missed field goal.
where was Ryan Day before this?
He was the offensive coordinator, like quarterbacks coach. of Ohio State.
Because I was saying, like, we're thinking about
He was with Ohio State.
you're thinking about Elko,
He
right?
already was.
Like Elko
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Duke, like he had a
He had been the defensive coordinator at A&M a couple
yeah. But I'm just saying, you go to Duke and have a mediocre season at one of the conference's dog shit this year, and
Yeah.
he's got a huge job now.
Yeah.
Ryan Day is 11-1 in a hard conference, and he's going to be fired. Like people,
he's not- but he's not- he's not gonna be
not
fired.
But like people are like coming for his head. It's a crazy.
Yeah, people are coming for his head.
I think he coaches a little soft. That's my opinion. I get that you have some things to back it up.
So let's do this because I I thought he called a pretty good game yesterday on Saturday.
I thought 4th and 1 in the first quarter. No matter what, it's this game. It's like we're putting our balls on the line. We're not punting on the first.
So
drive.
that was what I said. I
Was
thought
that what, the 40?
like the 45, like their 45. That was what I said off the top. That was the only thing I said that I think you could question his decision making.
They have a great defense. I get it.
That was my thought. I think his thought process was the defense. The team has been so different than the last few years Defense has been the bread and butter. Like it's the first quarter. Let's not just like it's not like all of a sudden we get stopped. We're just giving the ball at midfield right away with this good defense. Let's like pin them deep. Let's like settle into the game a little bit. I said in the stream, if you were watching, I said in the stream live, I was like, we should go for it.
Oh, I know. I saw that.
But I was like, he did it, and I was kind of like, whatever. It's early in the game. I thought his play calling was good. Like, we actually, in this season, we had struggled in the red zone. I thought his red zone play calling was exceptional. Like, I thought hitting the crosser, like Buka, the one was good play call. He finds Marv on the other crosser, which Marv has been great on those this year. I mean, even McCord played like sandwich between like the two interceptions, played like a very good game. The first one obviously was inexcusable, just like you can't it was a horrible throw. You can't throw a bad pick like that inside your own 20. And then the last one that they got pressure up the middle, he kind of had to just throw it. Obviously he gets picked off. That's the end of the game. But no, I'm devastated. I'm sick to my stomach. It's the worst. It's just the worst.
Last thing, because I know I missed a lot. Lions are frauds, right?
Yeah, I'm taking a step back on them.
Their defense is not good.
No, it's not. I'm taking a step. I think the biggest thing is Goff has not been as good as the last two games.
He's slowed down a bit, yeah.
And he had been very sharp up until the last two games.
But nothing changes for them. They're still going to win the division. They're still going. I mean, I guess the only change is they're not going to get the number 1 seed now. But
no. I mean,
they're still going to have a home game in the playoffs. Like
yeah, no, they will.
They're
They're still good.
A cupcake matchup at that
They're
first
still
round.
probably going to be the 2 or 3 seed, most likely.
Yeah, probably the 3.
Yeah,
I think the Niners will pass them by if they haven't already. I don't know how the tiebreakers work.
and they still, yeah. But I still think like they're very good. They might still be a year away. Might get some things going. But we'll see how they're still like they're 8-3, so they're still.
They make the second round of the playoffs. That's a good season for them.
Oh yeah,
They win a playoff game for the first time
In the playoffs.
Just winning the division.
To be honest.
win the division.
They have
and
had
then
such
win a playoff game.
shit in the past so many years. It's like I get.
They have one playoff win since the 50s. That's almost impossible.
It's almost impressive that we're even calling them frauds. You know, like they'll be called anything at 8. What are they, 8-3?
3.
Yeah, and then other 8-3 team. Do you think are frauds? Is the Jaguars?
No.
Define frauds.
I don't think they're Super Bowl. I don't think they can win the Super Bowl.
So I tend to agree with you because I just think if they play like the Eagles or Niners, they get smacked around a little
They
bit.
haven't beaten anyone.
My thing is now I think with Burrow going down, I think the AFC has weakened quite a bit. I think that and that
Bills
combined
being
with the Bills
6-6.
being down has been a huge. Those are two teams we expected to be like legit Super Bowl contenders that now I don't believe are.
Yeah.
I think if the Jags.
I think the field is weakened to the point I could see Jags make an AFC title game.
I think if the
With the way
Jags
things are now.
get hot at the right moment, they're talented enough to give anybody a game.
They have the same record. Who's better, the Jaguars or Dolphins?
Jags.
Yeah, Jags.
I'd say Jags. I'd prefer the
Very.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that much of a. Yeah, I think it's close.
Yeah, I think it's very close. I don't
Kinda
think
cut and dry
I
for
think
me.
it could argue either one. But I think the Chiefs still like.
It's tough.
Kill them.
Their defense is playing so much better. It's tough to not go. It's tough to not go.
The Chiefs are back to playing just like
Fine.
Chiefs ball. Like you go down 14-17 to the Raiders.
14
and all of a sudden,
nothing.
and all of a sudden you're up by 14 because
I
you
don't
can.
think there's anyone in the world that thought the Raiders were still going to win that when it was 14-0.
I mean,
I was like,
I had
no
Raiders
chance.
plus 9.5, and I was like, no. Once it was 14-7, I was like, they're not going to cover.
Oh.
They're not going to cover 9.5.
And then they score at the end at halftime and make it 14. Yeah,
I was like,
no,
14-14. I was
yeah.
like, no chance.
you just knew it. Yeah, but
Horrible.
like, Aiden O'Connell still not terrible.
No,
against
not
the
horrible.
Chiefs
Not horrible.
defense, but like,
I don't know if he's the future, but not horrible.
and then do you think the Ravens are still? Because let me tell you, the Ravens wanted to lose that game as they always do. They let teams back in, but the Chargers are so good at losing games. It's incredible.
Yeah, the Ravens, I still like we talked about it a little before. I almost think you have to say they're like number 2 in the AFC right now, but I still have like a little pause when I think about them.
They definitely are too, though. You have to.
They have to be just the way things are playing out right now. They are. They definitely are. But because I still believe in them more than like the Jags,
Yeah.
just because of their defense. But wow. All right, that's Pick Central. We big day with Cyber Monday. Everything going on. Make sure Barstool Sports Store. Make sure today is the last day. 20% of the holiday season here in the Barstool Sports Store is the ultimate stop for Cyber Monday shopping. Going on now through 11:59 Eastern Time tonight. Tonight, midnight, it's over. Entire Barstool Store is 20% off. Favorite merch, hoodies, crew necks, tees, hats, more. Like I said, store.barstoolsports.com. And Surviving Barstool Season 3 premieres at 8 p.m. right after Cyber Monday. It's at 7. The telethon's at 7. Surviving Barstool is at 8, Season 3. We get all the heavy hitters Dave, Big Cat, KFC. We got Kirk Fights, Will Compton, ton of people in it. It's going to be an awesome show. Make sure to tune in. 7 o'clock Saturday, Monday, 8 o'clock Friday, Barstool. Store.barstoolsports.com. 20% off now till midnight. See you tomorrow. God bless.